Very good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City of Greater Geraldton Ordinary Meeting of Council on the 25th of August. And I declare the meeting opened at 5 o'clock. I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the Yamatji people, who are the traditional owners and the first people of the land in which we meet. I'd like to pay my respects to the elders past, present and future, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and the hopes of the Yamatji people. Point 3 is a record of attendance and apologies and leave of absence. We have a leave of absence from Councillor Fiorenza, so there's 7 councillors here this evening. We have a full complement of directors at the table. Point 4 is disclosures of interest. We have one from CEO Mr Ross McKim, who's declared an impartiality interest in item DS 107, trial review dogs off leash for the recreation ground oval, as he lives in Beachlands and walks his dog on leash in this area. We also have one from Councillor Judici, who's declared an impartiality interest in item number IS 337, as she is a community member of the Community Consultation Committee for the Midwest Ports Association. Wouldn't be quite right. Midwest Ports Authority, sorry. There we go. All right. Point 5 is response of previous public questions taken on notice, and they are there for you to read. Point 6 is public question time. We do have quite a few people requesting to ask questions, so bearing in mind we have 15 minutes at this stage to get through them, so I'll declare them open at 17:02, and the first one I'll invite up to speak is Mr Gray. If he comes to the lectern and just states his name and address, and then the first question, please.
Mark Bray of 153 Glendinning Road, Geraldton. Evening, Mayor, councillors and directors. First question, given that the council previously supported, approved and co-funded the installation of a 200 lux lighting system at La Fiamma and the facility currently operates at that standard, on what basis has the replacement project been limited to 100 lux? And how does the city justify requiring the club to contribute additional funding simply to maintain the existing lighting standard and level of service, rather than providing a like-for-like replacement that ensures equitable treatment, future-proofs the facility and maintains its ability to host competition standard rectangular sport?
Thank you. I'll ask Director Norling to respond to that one, please.
Through the Chair. Thank you for the question. Council supported the Community Sporting and Recreation Facilities Fund CSRRF application in 2019 for the replacement of sports lighting at 8th Street West, the La Fiamma Sporting Club. The project involved the replacement of the luminaires, with the City, La Fiamma Sporting Club and the State Government each contributing 1/3 of the project cost. The project was subsequently delivered in February 2021 with 200 lux lighting. Following completion of that project, the City adopted Operational Policy 058, Sports Tower Lighting Infrastructure at City Managed Sports Grounds. This policy establishes a consistent and equitable framework for the provision, renewal and funding of sports lighting infrastructure across all city managed sporting facilities, and requires lighting to be provided in accordance with the relevant Australian standards for various sporting codes. Under Operational Policy 058, the City's adopted service level for soccer facilities, based on the applicable Australian standard, is 100 lux, which is the lighting level identified for amateur level soccer competition and consistent with Football West advice. When sports lighting assets are renewed or replaced, the City's funding responsibility is limited to providing the adopted service standard applicable to that facility, rather than a historic like-for-like approach. In accordance with Operational Policy 058, delivery of lighting renewal projects includes advising clubs of the option to contribute to the cost associating associated with delivering and maintaining an enhanced standard of lighting. Accordingly, replacement projects funded solely by the city are planned on the basis of the adopted 100 lux standard. The city's position is that this approach promotes equitable treatment across the sporting network by applying the same funding principles to all clubs and facilities, regardless of historical lighting levels or previous funding arrangements. Whilst the city recognises the benefits that 200 lux lighting may provide for higher levels of competition and future flexibility, any proposal to retain or renew lighting above the adopted 100 lux standard would need to be considered in accordance with the policy's cost sharing and funding provisions.
Thank you. Your second question, please, Mr Gray.
What service levels, maintenance response times and contingency arrangements will the city have in place to ensure the prompt repair or replacement of failed luminaires and minimise the risk of fixture cancellations, disruptions to competition or unsafe playing conditions? And can the city demonstrate that a 100 lux lighting system will continue to provide a safe and compliant playing environment in the event of luminaire failure?
Once again, Director Norling, would you respond to that question, please?
Through the Chair, thank you again for the question. While the approved lighting level for La Fiamma Sporting Club is 100 lux, lighting designs are typically prepared to achieve lighting outcomes that meet or exceed the required average illumination level at the time of commissioning. Consistent with industry practice, actual measured lighting levels following installation can often be higher than the minimum design requirement. The city acknowledges that any sports lighting system, regardless of its design standard, may experience occasional luminaire or component failures over its operational life. To manage this risk, the city undertakes regular inspections and condition assessments of sports lighting infrastructure, including an annual lighting inspection program, to identify the maintenance requirements and ensure continued compliance with operational and safety standards. The city also allocates annual funding for the maintenance, repair and replacement of sports lighting infrastructure across its managed sporting facilities. Where faults are identified or reported, works are assessed and prioritised, having regard to safety considerations, operational impacts and the extent to which the fault affects the facility's ability to meet its intended service level. Repairs are programmed accordingly, with priority given to lighting faults that have the potential to impact safe use of a facility or disrupt the scheduled sporting activities.
Thank you. Could I have your final question, please, Mr Gray?
Recognising the importance of the night series as the club's primary annual fundraising event, how does the city intend to ensure that a suitable venue is available to accommodate the competition during the lighting replacement project? And what commitments can the city provide to ensure the event can proceed without disruption and allow the club to raise the funds necessary to support its operations for the 2027 season?
Once again, Director Norling, please.
Through the Chair, thank you also for the question. The city recognises the night series as a significant annual fundraising event for the club and appreciates the importance of ensuring that the competition can continue during the lighting replacement project. While there may be some temporary impacts on access to the usual venue, the city is committed to work closely with the club to identify and secure a suitable alternative arrangement that enables the night series to proceed. One identified option to achieve this is to facilitate access at the adjoining Little Athletics Oval, which has suitable lighting infrastructure, with an understanding that some flexibility around fixture scheduling or playing nights may be required due to athletics competitions. Alternatively, officers will assist the club in exploring other suitable nearby facilities that could accommodate the competition. To support this process, the city will actively engage with the neighbouring clubs and user groups to identify available capacity and coordinate access arrangements where possible. While the club cannot guarantee that all aspects of the event will operate exactly as they do under normal circumstances, It is committed to helping secure a practical and workable solution that enables the night series to continue and supports the club's ability to generate revenue.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr Gray.
Thank you.
We will move on. We have a spokesperson from the Sin City Rollers here, Janelle Bleakley. If you just would like to state your name and address, we will take the questions on notice, but I'll get you to read them out one at a time, please.
Yes, my name is Donnell Bleakley of 2 Sutcliffe Road, Moresby. Good evening to the Mayor and councillors and everyone. My first question is, will Council consider making the Spalding Park club rooms and sports courts a multi-purpose sports venue, allowing local sporting and community groups, including the Geraldton Roller Derby Club, to hire the facility for training sessions and activities?
Thank you. I'll ask you a second question, please.
Okay, question 2. What is the current status of the Spalding Park master plan, and can Council provide an update on its progress?
Okay, thank you. And your third question.
Question 3. Is the master plan still proceeding as originally proposed? If not, what changes have been made and what is Council's long-term vision for the site?
Thank you. So we'll get a prepared response and get them back to your organisation. So
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the third question on the list is Mr Sean Hickey. If you would like to come forward, state your name and address and your first question, please.
Yeah, good evening. Sean Hickey, Tarcoola Beach, Eastcott Way, Geraldton. Three questions.
Yeah, first question, please, Mr Hickey.
Yeah, certainly there's a lot of feedback. Maybe I should get those things off. I appreciate the council's attempt to help me hear what's going on, but the feedback here is just a knockout. Right, question 1, please outline and identify this year's allocation of monies for the upkeep, the maintenance and the procurement of land that is deemed recreational land, and contrast that allocation with what will go to clubs and infrastructure maintenance and development.
Thank you. Do we have a response to that one? Oh, that's right. These ones came in late, so a prepared response will be given to you. Mr Hickey, your second question, please.
I thought it was a great opportunity to look at the contrast of the money
Mr
that's
Hickey,
going.
I'll ask your second question, please. We've got limited time.
You're missing the opportunity. Maitland Park and Apex Parks are 2 areas close to the CBD that may fit the description as suitable for passive recreation areas, other than those areas fenced off and locked that are school recreation and oval spaces. What is in the planning for the basic needs of passive shaded parkland and a growing community of Geraldton? Or are we ditching the idea and the reality altogether? The availability of land for passive recreation is questioned, given the city's proposal to annex much of Maitland Park for large car parking allotment and bus development terminal, along with the construction of large water tanks to water a number of displays of wildflowers and shrubs. Perhaps these latter displays are better suited to Portway and the main entries to Geraldton instead of the present roadside approaches, which are overgrown with weeds and donga daisies. So beaches and undeveloped coastal land offer a natural passive location, but much is lost to the roaring four-wheel drives and motorbikes, which are doing a great job in wrecking nature. Not all dissimilar to infrastructure development wrecking. How is the city planning to provide passive parkland for all and all the ages, when contrastingly, in fact, it has plans afoot to turn this unique location of Maitland Park into another multi-use area, as mentioned above? Yes, to repeat, to convert and diminish the parkland area with large-scale parking and busport development, one of the last likely passive recreation parklands possible, an area that is adjacent to the CBD and to the renowned cathedral precincts.
Thank you, Mr Hickey. And your final question, please.
Final question. Don't want to have a go at that one either.
Mr Hickey, you had a time to bring them in. There would be considered response if the questions were in time, but they were late, so we cannot give you a considered response, and you'll be getting a response in writing.
Question 3. How is the city meeting the state directive to provide a 10% land allocation for recreation? And why is some of the allocation seemingly met by allocating coastal land, beaches and dunes, in many of the areas mapped for land use? Perhaps the city can confirm the actual allocations in the suburbs as well, besides that of the two conflicting shades of green, and include the percentages.
Thank you, Mr
Thank you.
Hickey. That will conclude your 3 questions, and as stated, you'll get a written response to that. It is now 17:17, which is the 15 minutes allocated to question time, but I will. We only have one more on the list to ask questions, so as the right of the presiding member, I will allow extra time so these questions can be asked and answered. So I'll invite Mr Dines up to the lectern to state his name and address, and then commence with his first question.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Robert Dines, Drummond Cove. Question 1, all 3 questions are in regards to the reference that I provided, which was the city's response to the petition. In that response, it states that any change to the existing 80 km/h speed limit would require another formal speed zone review in accordance with Main Roads policy. In addition, initial advice provided by Main Roads is that without the construction of additional safety treatments for the protection of users of the shared path, it is considered that such a review would not support an increase to the posted speed limit. My question is, given that the shared path between Corallina Quays and Glenfield Beach Drive was both designed and constructed by the City of Greater Geraldton at a time when the vehicle speed limit along that section of road was 90 km/h, how does the city explain the lack of protection for users of the shared path that is just 1 metre off the road shoulder? And I provided a photo as reference. Was a risk assessment conducted at the design stage of the shared path or at any subsequent time? And is the city now satisfied with the safety of shared path users now that the speed limit has been reduced from 90 kilometres to 80 km/h?
Thank you. I'll ask Director Lee to respond to that question.
Through the Chair, and thank you for the question, Mr Dines. The Chapman Road shared path was designed by professional engineering consultancy Stantec. Road safety risk was considered by the consultants throughout the design process, and the city is satisfied that the path was designed and constructed in accordance with the applicable standards and guidelines and the safe system approach. The design process takes into account a range of factors, including vehicle speed, traffic volume, and the available corridor width. Prior to construction of the path, pedestrians, cyclists and other active transport users had no dedicated facility and were required to travel on the road shoulder or the carriageway itself, immediately adjacent to vehicles then travelling at 90 km/h. The shared path significantly improved safety for active transport users by providing a formalised, separated off-road facility, and the reduction of vehicle speeds along Chapman Road to 80 km/h has further improved the safety of both road and shared path users.
Thank you. Question 2, thank you.
Will the City please update the community on the status of the petition request to install a turning lane for northbound traffic on Chapman Road turning into Sale Boulevard in Sunset Beach? Has the detailed investigations, engineering, design, development and preparation of a cost estimate begun, and where are they up to?
Director Lee.
Through the Chair, and thank you again for the question. So you might recall that Council resolved to direct the CEO to commence the necessary investigations in the 2027-28 financial year. So this project will be included in next financial year's works program accordingly.
Thank you. And your final question, thanks.
Will the City please update the community on the status of the petition request to extend the shared path along Chapman Road from Glenfield Beach Drive to Bayside Boulevard, noting the petition called for Glenfield Beach Drive to Bayside Boulevard with a connection to the existing path on Reef Boulevard. That is to say, not just from Glenfield Beach Drive to Reef Boulevard, as stated in the City's response. Has the capital nomination been prepared by City officers, and has this been included in the Capital Works program?
Once again, I'll ask Director Lee to respond.
Through the Chair, and thank you again for the question. I'm pleased to advise that the concept design and cost estimation for the project is currently underway for the full length of the footpath from Glenfield Drive to Bayside Boulevard that will then be used to generate a capital nomination for Council's consideration in future Capital Works programs as resolved. Reef Boulevard was mentioned in the report as a logical staging opportunity for the project should the full project construction cost be prohibitive in one financial year.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr Dines. And that concludes the question time, public question time at 17:21. Moving on, point 7 is applications for leave of absence, and then we have a recommendation there for approve leave of absence for Councillor Parker for the period of 28th September to the 5th of October. So do we have a mover for that, please? Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, happy to move, thank you.
Councillor Keemick, do you second that?
Yeah, happy to second, thank you.
Does anyone wish to oppose that motion? We'll move that that is passed unanimously. Point 8 is petitions and deputations. There are none. Point 9, confirmation of minutes. We need a motion there, councillors. Councillor Giudice.
Happy to move.
Move the recommendation. Do we have a seconder, please? Councillor Denton, thank you. Do you wish to speak? Councillor Giudice? Okay. Councillor Denton? Okay. Does anyone wish to oppose this motion? We'll move that that's moved unanimously again. Number 10 is announcements by the Chair and presentations. Any questions on those? Councillor Giudice.
Yes, you met with a resident of Point Moore. I was just curious as to what the topic of the meeting was about.
It was a vast range of meetings with coastal management, flood management with Point Moore, and all those types of things around that particular area, as he is a resident of that area.
Thank you.
Another question? Yes.
My second question was, can you please give us a rundown on the Radio Geraldton interview that you did that spoke to statistics on dwellings and population?
Yes. They do a regular call on Wednesdays to keep up to date with whatever's been happening, and I happen to have those figures in front of me, so I gave a quite interesting development about the growth of the city, where it's come from and where it's been. So interesting figures and projections to where we would be in about 25 years' time. So, yeah. Interesting figures. Whether we'll get there or not, it's interesting, one to be seen.
Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. No further questions on that item? Councillor Keemick.
Yeah, sorry, quick one, please. On the 12th of August, the withdrawal of the EV proposal at Mohammed Flats. bit of a rundown on that, please?
Yeah, so that was a question from the Geraldton Guardian about about the EV out at the back beach there, and the proponent has withdrawn from that site for whatever reason. I don't know, Mr. CEO, do you have any reason, or the Director Lee? No, I don't know why they withdrew. I didn't think the demand was particularly there at this stage or something, but they just said they will no longer pursue putting that there in that location, so. Okay, no further questions on those announcements. We will move on. Point 11 is unresolved business from previous meetings, and there is none. So 12 is reports of committees and officers. 12.1 are reports of development services. Councillor Van Stein.
I wish to move the executive recommendation as presented, please, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder, Deputy Mayor Colliver?
Happy to second, thank you.
Thank you. Wish to speak? Councillor Van
Just in
Stein?
short, like the work to actually streamline these policies and the like is should be commended. Anything that helps streamline and reduce bureaucratic red tape should be always appreciated, and long may live such good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver?
Yes, that sums it up very well, thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone wish to oppose the motion? We'll move that is passed unanimously again. Item DS 104, Local Planners Policy Review, proposed new and amended policies. Councillor Van Stein, you moving?
Move the executive recommendation as presented.
Thank you. And seconder, Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, happy to second, thank you.
Wish to speak?
I think I summed it up articulately in the item before. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you.
Yes, nothing further to add, thank you.
Okay. Are there any questions? Anyone wish to oppose this motion then? We'll move that is passed unanimously as well. Thank you. Item DS 105, Proposed Local Planning Scheme Amendment, Public Purposes, Woori. Councillor Van Stein, wish to?
Move the executive recommendation as presented, Mr Mayor.
Okay, so that's Part A and Part B. And seconder, Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, happy to second, thank you.
Okay.
You got me lost with Part A and Part B.
Yes.
Got 1, 2 and 3. I don't think there is a Part A and B. Sorry, Mr Mayor.
Oh, have I? Have I jumped one? I have two, sorry.
Again, so I'll move the executive recommendation as presented. And again,
Sorry, I called the wrong one. Deputy Mayor, was your finger on the button for the second of that motion?
Yes, it was, and I'm happy to second, thank you.
Thank you. Right. Councillor Van Stein, do you wish to speak?
look, just in short, it's another example of tidying up a bit of some legacy stuff and some works depots and the like, and I think it's a good little step just to tidy up that little area. It's a tricky little spot, that end of 8th Street and all that other areas in there. So, so to be able to tackle that and get on that with the above, in light of the above two policies and everything like that, good work by the planning team on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, nothing further to add. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Councillor Judice, you have a question?
Yes, there was a conditional letter of support that came through with one of the submissions. Are these conditions met or are they just noted?
Director Free, would you like to respond?
They're just noted. The sort of, it's a statutory process, so some of those government utilities provided some additional information, but didn't actually impact upon the change it to the town planning scheme which is proposed.
Any further questions? Councillors, any other questions? Any speakers against? Any other speakers for? Councillors, I'll ask you to cast your vote for this one, just to mix it up a bit. That motion is passed 8-0. As we were, item DS 106, report of planning of local planning strategy and local planning scheme number 1. Councillor Van Stein.
I wish to move the executive recommendation, both part A and B, please, Mr Mayor.
There we go. Councillor Giudice. Thank you. I'll have to cross that out. Councillor Van Stein, if you wish to speak.
Look, pretty much in my earliest days on council, I rocked up and we actually dragged out this local planning scheme number 1 under all the reforms at the time. So if I'm still here, that scheme needs to be refreshed as much as I do, I reckon. So I think that's great work, and in light of the previous couple of motions that we've had, where we've obviously streamlined an awful lot of policies and the like, and I imagine there's going to be an awful lot of work just to tidy up all of that and streamline that through, and all the developments that have changed and the rules, and obviously the state government changes. I mean, it's obviously the document that drives a lot of our red tape and planning, and a lot of it's essential red tape. I don't want to just mean that derogatorily in any way. There's good red tape in there. So it's probably more green tape and every other colour tape. White tape, I think, would be the positive tape, wouldn't it? So I think this is good sound work. It probably needs doing. Certainly 11 years is a long time, and let's change that. So look, I commend everyone for clearly the hard amount of work that obviously the old planning department's getting involved into tonight. It's been a bit of a role for me with these ones at the moment, but thank you very much, and I commend it to the floor.
Thank you. Councillor Giudice, as seconder, would you like to speak for the motion?
No, thank you.
Okay. Are there any questions? Anyone wish to speak against the motion? Anyone wish to oppose the motion? We'll move that motion is passed 8-0 again. Moving along, item DS 107, trial review, dogs off leash recreation ground oval, and bearing in mind that CEO Mr Kim has declared an impartiality interest in this item as he lives in Beachlands and walks his dogs on leash in this area. Councillor Keamy.
I'd like to accept the executive recommendation, please.
Thank you. And Deputy Mayor Colliver, you seconding that?
Yes, I'm happy to second. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Keamy, you wish to speak?
Thank you. I just briefly, as our notes say, I think this opportunity encourages social interaction, community participation, and I think it's fantastic that this actual operation is within the Beachlands area, which is close to our CBD, so I think we should all support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. Likewise, I think it's fair to say that the trial has been fairly successful. I do understand that not everybody is thrilled, and there was a lot of conversation at the Agenda Forum about a lot of levels of dog poo on the oval, whether they were more before or now or after or whatever. So maybe if I could just use the opportunity to do a public call out to people using that oval just to clean up after their dogs, please, and keep everybody happy. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions? Any speakers against? Anybody else, any other councillor like to speak for the motion? Councillor Giudice, speaking for?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Most of the negativity that surrounds this does revolve around people doing the wrong thing. So I think if we can encourage people to do the right thing, then it's an easy given for approval. Now, I think that people's behaviour could probably be shaped more by getting the rangers down there and doing something about telling people or fining people when they do the wrong thing. So the trial, as far as I can see, there's no reason why it shouldn't go ahead. I'm absolutely for it, but as Natasha, Councillor Colliver said, I do really encourage people to do the right thing, and that way it can continue to the benefit of the community.
Thank you. Any other speakers against? Any other speakers for? Councillor Parker, speaking for.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. It was a pretty contentious issue when it first was brought up to the floor sort of thing, but I think with the trial that's happened and the people and the amount of dogs that have been counted using the oval and that, I think it's been a great success, the trial. And I think if we go against this sort of thing, it'll be a step backwards. But no, well done to the people out there. There are problems, but we can fix them. But it's open space for the dogs at the wreck, and well done.
Thank you. Any speakers against? Any other speakers for the motion? No further speakers, then I ask Councillor Kimick for some closing remarks if he wishes.
Just briefly, so the message is just clean up your dog poo and everyone will be very happy. Thank you.
Thank you. So you have that motion there, councillors. I will ask you to cast your votes with that, please. So that motion is passed 8-0. Moving along to item DS 108, Key Worker Accommodation Project.
I think it's not clear.
Just waiting for that to clear. So I've got Councillor Kimick.
I was first.
Well, it's come up here. It's come here as first. And
I would like to accept the executive recommendation, part A and B, please.
Thank you. And Councillor Denton, as seconder.
Peter, second, part A and B. Thank you.
Councillor Kimick.
Yeah, thank you. Just briefly again, I like this executive recommendation because it does give the CEO the power to explore the potential of what the lot has, and I think that's very good. We haven't necessarily committed to anything as such. It's just the CEO having a bit of a deep dive into exactly what we can do there. And part B talks about with a particular group who we've met, and I was quite impressed with what they had to say. And I think we've rehashed this for many, many months, and I'm happy that it's going to hopefully go ahead. So please accept this recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Denton, as seconder, you speak for the motion.
Just to concur, Councillor Kimick's remarks on this one. I'm supportive of any developers that want to invest in Geraldton and help us try and resolve some of our housing issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions, councillors? Anyone wish to speak against the motion? Do you have speaker for? Councillor Van Stein speaking for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, surprisingly. Look, the only reason I'm speaking for this is at the moment, the state government wants to throw $8 million at this, and they want to give us the land for free. And nothing in this motion at the moment binds us to any expenditure or any participation in the land development. And let me assure you that if it did, I'd be speaking in a different part of this debate. I don't in any way support the council going into property development. I didn't like Olive Street, and I will certainly not like this. We spent millions on 7 houses. I shudder to think what the theory of building 115 will cost, but I digress. For now, though, in the wise words of Bob Blofwich, who once said when it came to the Southern Transport Corridor, as opposed to the money going out to Oakajee, he said, if the state government's going to waste $120 million in my electorate, it's better that than someone else's. So for now, if we've got $8 million on the table and some land, we might as well explore the option. If that means, our local subbies get to dig holes and build roads and put curbs in, and it ends up being a white elephant, that's $8 million that was spent otherwise. But I'd be nervous about that because we obviously would be left holding the can to maintain that infrastructure going forward. So I'll cautiously approve this to go forward and continue talking, but rest assured I will be changing my vote on this should I find out that we're going to be somehow funding 115 or whatever it is houses in this report. I mean, I actually just stopped looking at that number because I just thought it was so ridiculous. So, but for now, yeah, why not? Go ahead and go talk. Let the government throw money around. Why not?
Thank you. Any speakers against the motion? Any other speakers for? Councillor Parker?
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. With the government processing sort of thing, pushing the money towards us, that sees the site has been developed. And that's the biggest thing, because the planning and that'll take up the $8 million. We might get the bit of level ground in that, but at the end of the day, when the government gives you 8.6 million sort of thing, it's like when the Olive Street thing, they gave us 1.6 to build the 7 houses, and the structure and the plans for all of those worked out quite well with our return on money. But with this new development with Celsius, the property group, they're a professional outfit, they've got contacts with the government and they've done projects before. So let's go ahead. It's not going to cost us anything, and let's get the money off the government. Thank you.
Thank you. Any speakers against? Call for any speakers for. Councillor Colliver, are you speaking for?
I'm speaking for, thank you, Mr
Yeah, okay,
Mayor.
thank you.
Yes, I think anybody that is paying attention to absolutely anything knows how drastic our housing situation in Geraldton is at the moment. The rental, there are absolutely no rentals. You just have to spend like 3 minutes on Facebook every night to see the calls going out for people in desperation, just seeking somewhere, a roof over their head. So I think it would be remiss of us as a council not to explore an opportunity like this that will hopefully, if it comes to fruition, increase housing stock in Geraldton. I think it's a very important role for council to play. Thank you.
Thank you. Any speakers against? Ask for any other speakers for? No further speakers. I'll ask Councillor Kemick if he would like to bring
No,
some
nothing
close-
further, thanks, Mr Mayor.
No further remarks. Councillors, you have that motion before you. I ask you to cast your vote on that one, please. Just need one more to roll in. Everyone pressed? There we go. That motion is passed 8-0. That concludes the development services ones. 12.2 is reports of community and culture, item CC 038. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, I would like to put forward an alternative motion, please.
Is it up there?
Ready to go, yep. And that motion would be that council by absolute majority pursuant to section 6.8 of the Local Government Act 1995 resolves to seek, number one, seek external grant funding through the Next State Night Lights program or equivalent for 4 new lighting poles with 200 lux level luminaries as a preferred option for replacement of sports lighting at La Fiamma Sporting Club Incorporated. Note that this may require a city contribution in the order of $300,000 subject to future consideration by council. And also to note, number 3, La Fiamma Sporting Club Inc. will continue to have access to alternative training and competition lighting facilities at the Little Athletics Ground, subject to availability and operational requirements. And my reason for the variation, the pole replacement, I think that it is reasonable for the La Fiamma Sporting Club to expect a like-for-like replacement of the existing 200 lux lights. Thank you.
Sorry, just a technical one. I've just been advised that instead of referring section 6.8, we should be referring section 5.20. Are you okay to make that change?
Thank you. 5.2.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that motion is there. Do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Keemick?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver, wish to speak?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, unfortunately, there is like no sorry, let me start again. Unfortunately, there's no quick fix for this situation. And I do understand the impact that not having the lights is going to have on the night series competition for the club. And even if we did fund this outright and started tomorrow, we would really struggle to have that project up in time anyway. What I am actually hoping to achieve with this motion is for the club to have a like-for-like replacement of the existing 200 lux. I do acknowledge our current policy, and I do acknowledge that staff are sticking to that policy as they rightfully should. But I think since the inception of that policy, the lighting upgrades that we've done on our other ovals have been an improvement for the lux and the lights that were there. And I think with this one, we're actually going to be replacing it for less. And I think that's an anomaly here, and it's something that doesn't sit right with me. It just seems like a step backwards when we're going to this extent to replace infrastructure that will be there hopefully for a long time. I just think that strategically we're better placed to fund a new like-for-like replacement. To do that now as part of a grant-funded application opportunity, then at a later date, noting that it would be really difficult for the club itself to have to find the extra funds when capacity for them to do so would be very, very limited. So that's what I'm basing this one on. I just think it's fair. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Keemick has seconded. You wish to speak?
Yeah, just briefly. I also feel that the like-for-like situation should be presented, notwithstanding Director Norling's answers to the previous questions tonight asked by Mr. Mark Gray. This makes sense to me, and hopefully it does to all councillors here tonight as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions, councillors? Councillor Giudice?
Just one, storm damage is the reason we lost one of the poles. Did the city approach our insurers to see whether they could fix it because it was due to storm damage?
Director Lee? Is that yours or whose is it? Director Norling. Sorry, I'm looking the wrong direction. Sorry.
Through the chair, I understand that there is progress on the insurance claim on the pole that was lost.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? Any speakers against? Councillor Van Stein?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This city recorded its first ever audited budget, opposite annual deficit in 24-25. This year we're forecasting a budget surplus in the order of $250,000, and this motion goes to seek and spend $300,000, sending us back into deficit. Heaven forbid, the very next item, you can just see the bottom of it there, it's asking for twice the amount again. And if we continue to do this every time we come to council, we'd be about $6 million in the hole by the time we get around in 12 months' time. The policy is very clear. And when we talk about like-for-like, it's about providing like-for-like to other sporting organisations as well. We've gone through and imposed these, and I think just about every lighting tower project we've done to date, people have objected against going to 100 lux and the like, and I don't know if you've been down to the rec ground, but if you want to compare that to metal halide lights and the sulphur lights, the quality of light that you get out of an LED is significantly higher, and you're not up and down changing globes and bulbs and all this sort of nonsense that you do with the luminaires, or even subject to ging attack for that matter. So they are a much superior light. They throw out a much better light and a more broader light, a less shadowed light, a less invasive light. They can be directed away from homes and the like. This is not a step backwards. This is a significant step forward in the quality of lights at 100 lux because of the technology that is being used. And just because something was done like in a certain way, we don't always have to replace it. That is not the excuse. That is how we got ourselves into the big mess of having to over-engineer and over-design everything and create elements of unfairness. And if we go and look back at our record of delivering lighting projects right across the community, and then all of a sudden we come out of nowhere and we just change tack, we throw our policies in the bin and just go and support it, I am actually quite shocked that we'd even be entertaining such a thing. This is a significant improvement. It's a chance for council to step forward and deliver consistent budgeting principles that are in policy and in written and are very clearly articulated. Back in the day, I mean, you'd look at most of these sporting clubs, these lights are put up by volunteers, their club rooms are built by volunteers. The world's changed, I accept that, and it's now the responsibility of council. And now we have demands on us left, right and centre. Council, you've set a budget. We've done the budget. Heck, we only adopted it in June. It's now August. I mean, we're not 60 days into the financial year and you're wanting to blow the budget out at this point by 300,000 and potential future in the next item. Who knows what number comes through debate, but it's at least starting out there at around 300,000 to 400,000. So, you know, why not make it around a million and we'll just go broke and go into deficit. So I don't support this. And as a result, I foreshadow the executive recommendation as presented, because I think it's a great motion, it's well considered and it meets kind of halfway, is in keeping with everything that we've done to everybody else today and everything going forward, and again, we'll just simply provide a far superior set of lights.
Thank you. Speakers for? Any speakers against? Oh, Councillor Parker speaking.
Yes, for the motion. Why I've had a fair bit of thought about this one, because it's a pretty significant amount of money. We've spent a lot of money on lights around the ovals and we've got a few problems at the moment, but they'll be rectified. But let's put it this way. Lafiama is a state league soccer club. We've got the Buccaneers, a state league soccer club. What else have we got in this town that is state league? Now let's get behind these organisations. Their numbers for kids coming through junior football are all going to soccer. The numbers are falling away in football. The soccer numbers are getting higher. So we've got on our doorstep state league representation in two major sports in Geraldton that are well maintained, well patronised. So let's get behind our sporting community. That's what we are. We are a sporting town. We've got the lifestyle and everything here, but at the end of the day, let's give credit where credit's due. They've made the state league. Thank you.
Thank you. Speakers against? I'll speak against the motion because, councillors, we do have, as Councillor Van Stein stated, we do have a standard of how we are doing our lights now. It has moved on considerable way from when those lights were put up there at the Lafiama Oval, and to jump over to and suddenly change the standard of what those lights and the luminaire of those is would go against everything which we have already accounted for and measured for. So I join with Councillor Van Stein and oppose that motion. Speakers for? Any speakers against? Deputy Mayor Colliver, would you like to closing remarks?
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, I do note that there will be, I absolutely accept that there will be implications on the budget for this one. I actually think that providing, as Councillor Parker said, providing good facilities for our sporting community is actually worth us having to juggle things around a bit. I do know that we'll have to find savings elsewhere. But I just think that if we are going to replace the infrastructure there, and it is going to be there for a long time, that we should replace it like for like with the 200 lux. I just think that that is fair. Thank you.
Thank you for those closing remarks. Councillors, you have that motion there from Deputy Mayor Colliver. I'll ask you to cast your votes, please. That motion is lost. Hang on, no, sorry. There we go. That's a tied vote. So I will have the casting vote on that one. Does that show up?
I just have to note it manually.
Okay, as casting vote, I vote against that motion, so that one falls away. And as such, we have a foreshadowed motion of Councillor Van Steyns in play. Do we have a seconder for that? Well, I'll second that. Councillor Van Steyn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, now I'm probably going to talk in reverse to what I just said, but look, the 100 lux light, the technology you are putting in there is LED. It is significant improvement in lighting, and no one's denying that we need to replace the lights. No one's denying that we need to go and support this, but people need to also accept that we have a budget and we need to live within our means. And you know, you can probably get a vibe for the next items going as well. But look, I agree absolutely with Councillor Parker that this is, you know, they're an important club and soccer is absolutely growing. There's no denying that. I mean, I've been down for a couple of people have invited me down, and I was actually quite surprised by the turn, to be brutally honest, having not really following the soccer. But I might point out to Councillor Parker, we have state representative competition in Taekwondo, we have a state netball team, we have gun rounds, we have shotgun tournaments and the like. So the idea that we just narrow that down to 2 state representatives is a bit harsh, and I think that's a bit harsh on the women, to be honest, when it comes to netball. And I know that we have another demand on funding for that and work as well, sitting there in the ether in the wings as well. So where do you want to draw the line on that one? So let's just go on with sticking to the plan. This is within what we do as a council. It is within policy. The executive have absolutely answered this flawlessly, and it has my full support. And hopefully the state government can get back to supporting local sporting facilities in the community. I mean, they've pretty much cancelled everything else in the regions. Hopefully they can think to bring this back for us at least.
Thank you. I do not wish to say any more. It's eloquently put by the mover. Do we have any questions? Any speakers against? Any other speakers for? Councillor Van Steyn, you have the right for closing remarks.
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Councillors, you have that motion there from Councillor Van Steyn. I ask you now to cast your votes, please. Oh, must be on. Looking for one more, councillors. One more? Not coming forward. Does anyone oppose that motion? Or will that motion is passed 8-0. Something's wrong with our electronics here.
Would you like me to populate the vote?
Yes, please.
Councillor Keemick. Is that a yes, though?
Yeah. Does it go green? Oh, okay. Is it okay? Good to go on? All right, moving along, item CC 039, Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association funding request. Deputy Mayor Colliver?
Yes, I'd also like to propose an alternative motion for this item. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Yes.
And that is that council by absolute majority pursuant to section 6.8 of the Local Government Act 1995 resolves to 1, approve and authorise a budget amendment to provide for a contribution of up to $446,000 to the Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association for the purpose of upgrading the stadium fire management system and providing female and umpire change rooms at an estimated project cost of $1.785 million, subject to the state approving the proposed 50% funding contribution. 2, approve the following conditions for the provision of financial support to Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association for upgrade of the Active West Stadium fire management system as follows. A, Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association to ensure access to the system to support fire management requirements for the adjacent Geraldton Netball Association facility. B, Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association to make available the Active West Stadium when required for the purposes of Community Evacuation and Relief Centre. And C, Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association to take all reasonable steps to provide access to their facilities for city community programs such as midnight basketball. 3, advise the Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association of the associated conditions and that any shortfall for the project is the association's responsibility to fund. And 4, direct the CEO to find operational savings through the financial year to keep the city's budget in surplus. And the reason for this amendment is to providing female sporting facilities should be a matter of priority for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. So do we have a seconder for that motion, please? Councillor Giudice.
Happy to second, thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver, you got your breath back. Would you like to speak
yes,
for the
thank
motion,
you.
please?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, when this one came before us, and I read through this with great detail, of course, putting aside that the fire management system is an absolute have to. The proposal to council to help to fund the female sporting facilities with the change rooms and also for the umpires, that's the thing that really resonated with me. We talk about sport all the time and supporting all our clubs. We talk about our female teams. We talk about that a lot, but what we haven't been talking about and what we need to start talking about and planning for is to provide that equity in our sporting facilities for our female sport participants. I mean, what our females are having to put up with in our current facilities is just quite appalling. I hear some terrible stories about, trainers having to find spaces in the club room just to be able to provide that service to our female athletes and our players, and particularly the younger girls. Like, it is just not good enough. And I just think if we don't support this project that's coming before us, which is going to be we looking like it's going to be supported very well from the state as well, I think this is a really would be remiss of us to actually miss this opportunity to kick off what we are going to do to support female sporting facilities in our community. We talk about equity between the sporting clubs. Well, I'm talking about equity between the male and female participants of sport in our community, and if not now, when are we actually going to do this? I am aware that I believe that we are going to receive a report in the near future that actually will be looking at the female side of our facilities, and I'm looking forward to that. But I think if we let this opportunity slip by, because it is going to be grant funded, I think that would be strategically a really, really big mistake. I just urge my fellow councillors to support this one. I think it's a really important step for us to take. And I'm sure I will hear if there's going to be arguments against, I'll hear things about precedent and all this sort of stuff. Well, I actually hope we do set a precedent, because that's what we need to be doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Colliver. Councillor Giudice, a seconder, would you like to speak?
Just that I concur with everything Councillor Colliver said. I think it's very important that females have the opportunity to feel safe within their sports, and I think the change rooms there would go a long way to helping that. I also think that the fire safety issue is a huge one, and once that's sorted, it will also cover the Geraldton netball courts as well. So I think that's a big positive, and the funding that's being made available by the state government, again, not taken would be an opportunity missed. So I feel that this is an important one, and I hope that everyone votes in favour of the motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Any speakers against? Councillor Van Stein.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, I mean, I noticed in the amended motion it mentions that we need to keep the city's budget in surplus. Well, if the previous item comes on, we're actually starting with a $40,000 surplus. So you're actually sort of saying to someone that we've got to go and find 400,000 in operational savings as a flippant line. That's nearly 1% of rate revenue that you're now talking about going and slashing out of the budget. I would want to know what that is before you go and commit to this. That's a significant sum. $400,000 you're talking about just flippantly cutting from somewhere. And I haven't heard any ideas as to where that's going to be found as of yet. And look, if there was clear outcomes in that, maybe my position would be different. The state government has no guidelines. We just heard that this is a great opportunity in grant funding. And in the same report and the same item, the whole reason this is before us and there's a rush on all of this is because there is no grant funding available and there is no guidelines and there is no commitment. And if I cast my mind back to the last election, you remember that the state government threw, a couple of $1 million or so at female change rooms at Eden Clark unannounced with the idea that they're going to fund 100% of it. And they fund 100% of upgrades and the like all throughout metropolitan Perth. So I don't see why all of a sudden we just need to go, please sir, may I just have half and the like. That is not acceptable. Now, I want to put words in the mouths of the wonderful people at Gabba, who work tirelessly and provide a wonderful service and have built their stadium, for those that recall, from members' funds, and they've gone through and renovated most of that, and only recently have they taken on state government funding to do that wonderful expansion. But the idea that we would force an association that has built such a magnificent stadium and have a lease in place, we would force them as a condition of helping them out with a bit of a fire system, that we'd force them to take on city programming with no details of what that is at a whim of our own making is outrageous. How dare we suggest that we'll only give you a little bit of money on this wonderfully large project and just all of a sudden commandeer it at will? I mean, I'm not talking about the emergencies and the invacs. I'm sure that'll work itself out. But the idea that we just, midnight basketball or whatever, is just wild. Like, when do we start commandeering city facilities? Like, what's the point of having a lease? Why clubs build tenure into this, and that's why it's still not there. Look, I appreciate, back in the day, for those that might not recall, I was the president of the Geraldton Amateur Basketball Association for a few years, and we brought in what we called then the Broadwater Lady Bucks, and we actually had a female team, and I concur 100%. The change rooms and the conditions are tough, they're not flash, but I tell you what, the men's weren't all that flash hot back then either. No wonder they went and changed down the other end. And now the standard of facilities is much better, and the report outlines it. It's not ideal, but they can work in with the netball facilities and share facilities. And who would have thought that sharing facilities is all of a sudden now seen to be such a bad thing, but obviously something that we need to get over it. So I don't see this as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to smash our budgets, an opportunity to send us broke, and the like. And look, if this isn't successful, I'd like to foreshadow the executive recommendation, because I think if we are at the bare minimum going to go ahead and call for a bit of assistance if it is an evacuation centre relief centre, that's fine. That's on us, and we should contribute. I think we have a moral obligation. But I would like to suggest that we find the savings, clean out of the community grants program. We don't do the round for a year. There's your $200,000 saved, and you haven't hit the budget line. So I'll provide, that's just an idea. There's your solution, and there's your budget restored. At least I'm prepared to talk about the savings and not just flippantly go around spending $500,000 here and there. In the last two items alone, we're talking about adding $800,000 to the budget. Come on, councillors, please. So look, we support the fire system, no doubt about it, and I support the executive recommendation as originally presented, and let's call on the state government, who have released no guidelines, to let's sit there and look after women's sport and the like. They big chest beated themselves of their big U development that they did on the expansion of the basketball stadium. They can chest beat themselves a little bit more and help fund this facility as well.
Thank you. Any speakers for? Councillor Parker.
I've just got a question, and that we talk about surplus and that. Wasn't there some money from the sale of the Mercantile Club that started to move back into our pockets? 461,000.
Director Adaj.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question, Councillor. Yes, we did retain some funds from the Mercantile Club.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Denton.
Thank you. I have a question just in regards to the potential funding from the state. I feel like there's not actually anything explicit around what the 50% funding contribution would go towards, so it's lumped. So I'd like some clarity around, you know, we are saying that we would propose contributing if the state approved 50% funding, but what is that 50% funding for? The fire system, the change rooms, it's kind of been lumped and I'm not comfortable about that.
Director Norling, would you like to handle that one?
Through the chair, thank you for the question, councillor. If you're referring generally to the 50% contribution as per the executive recommendation, hopefully I can answer it this way. I'm aware of conversation with the state, which has indicated potential support for 50% towards the project, so along similar lines to the currently non-existent CSRFF program. So that conversation was around the whole project. When Manager of Sport and Leisure and myself were in the room with Gabba and Basketball West and the department, the conversation at that stage was around both parts of the program, with the state prepared to, or indicating that it would potentially support 50% of the total project, which is that 1.78-ish amount that's there. Does that answer the question? All right, and have another go.
Okay.
Yes, for now.
Thank you. We're speaker for. Councillor Parker, speaking for.
Yes, Mr Mayor. Now, councillors, around the table sort of thing, we've got football clubs, we've got soccer clubs, hockey clubs and everything. Now, basketball is the biggest sport in Geraldton by far. You go past 8th Street and the One Thella Progress Association, when they originally set up that, they started building the badminton courts, they built the basketball courts, all through volunteers, everything like that. Now, Saturday and Sunday, this is during the day. How many kids go through that stadium is unbelievable. At the end of the day, they need facilities at basketball, at Gabba. The licence is pulled their hand sort of thing. They've got to have a women's team by next year. So to state that we need facilities, we've got the fire management, which is occupational safety and safety for the basketball. They need the tanks and that there for the fire services. The club rooms at itself, you have 1,000 people there on a Saturday night supporting the club. They have volunteers doing the bars. They have paid staff doing work. But at the end of the day, it's a community that's full of sport. And the Basketball Association, take your hat off to them. They are one of the most successful clubs in this town. We talk about football clubs. What do you got? 150 members. The basketball, you have 1,000 members there on Saturday night to watch the Buccaneers. You've got 5,000 kids go through those stadiums on Saturday and Sunday. Now, let's be reasonable. Let's spend the money. We've got money from the Mercantile Club. Let's be realistic. I know we're setting a precedent, but at the end of the day, we've got to keep these sporting clubs alive. And that's all I wish to say. We are a sporting town, and let's be proud of it.
Thank you, Councillor Parker. Speakers against? Do you have any other speakers for? Being no further speakers, I'll ask Deputy Mayor Colliver would like some closing remarks.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, this was always going to be a topical one. I knew that, but I think that it's one that I was prepared to go in and bat for. It's just such a great opportunity to address the inequity in women's sporting facilities in our city, one project at a time, starting with this one. As I said, if not now, when? I really can't believe that in this day and age we're having people having this debate about, oh, can we afford or not afford to actually provide these facilities for women? I mean, where are we? Goodness sake. It's a terrible thing to say that, I think. So I ask my fellow councillors to please address this inequity and let's start providing that support. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillors, this is an absolute majority needed on this vote, so I'll ask you now to cast your vote, please. We're still one short. There we go. So that motion is passed 5-3. Moving along, item CC040, expression of interest in activation of Spalding Park club rooms and sports courts. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, I'm happy to move the executive recommendation as it stands. Thank you.
Thank you. And do we have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Danton. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to the people that came to talk tonight on this one as well. Look, I think that this is a good outcome for the venue. We have a good working relationship with the Geraldton Aboriginal Sporting Association. They have a really good track record with their management of the Mitchell Street Community Centre. I understand that they are very, very, very much open to working with other sporting groups in providing access to that site. So I think on that basis, I think this is a good way to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Danton.
Thank you. Yeah, just to add, I value the work of GSAC. They've done a really good job with the Mitchell Street Centre, and I think they are would like to be all-inclusive with this initiative, so I support them to take on this lease. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Any speakers? Councillor Judice, you have a question?
Yes.
Yes,
for the
certainly.
gallery's benefit, is GSAC willing to share the space with other groups? Thank you.
Director Norling, is that yours?
Through the chair, thank you for the question. The expression of interest required submitters to indicate how they would make the space available for other groups. GSAC were very enthusiastic right through the process of including and allowing for other groups, including Roller Derby, who you heard from tonight.
Thank you. No further questions or speakers against? Anyone wish to speak for the motion? No further speakers. Deputy Mayor Colliver, do you wish to have any closing remarks?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Right. Thank you. That concludes the debate. So, councillors, I will ask you to cast your votes, please. So that motion is passed 8-0. Moving along, item CC 041, Disaster Management Reform, discussion paper and submission. I'm happy to move from here. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Van Stein. Seconder.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you. Councillors, this submission from the City of Geraldton is prepared and written in one from experience with recent Seroja. What it has, we're not unique with disasters and management of it, but it certainly gave us a lesson of some key notes to work off and some experience, and just bearing in mind some of the results that we are a large local government area of nearly 10,000 square metres, and within that area we need to concentrate not only on the larger population but also the remote ones, and I think that sort of came out in our report where we need to make sure we do cover everything. The other one was where we're losing a lot of the bureaucracy, I guess, when these disasters come in, and how slow-moving and unwieldy it does make to actually get services to the ground and get things done in an efficient manner. So we highlighted that in the submission, and also actually have people on the ground who are here. If when they bring some of these disaster management people, that they are actually right right on the battleground, as if you could put an analogy with it, so that they are there. So a very good submission put towards the disaster management reform. So and I would like your support with that, please. Councillor Van Stein, a seconder.
Nothing more to add to those eloquent words by someone who is only too professionally inclined to know what they're talking about in this regard. So I endorse the Mayor's comments 100% and 10.
Thank you. Any questions? Any speakers against? Anyone wish to oppose that motion? We'll move that motion is passed 8-0 then. Moving on, 12.3 is reports of corporate services. Item CS 323, compliance audit report return for 2025. We've got a motion sitting there. Councillor Van Stein. Deputy Mayor Colliver wishes to second that. Thank you. Councillor Van Stein, do you wish to speak?
Yeah, I think I've given enough compliments to the planning team. It's about time I gave some compliments to the finance team and indeed even the community services team. Tonight's been a bit of a run for everyone today. So let's say well done, and let's. This is a statutory requirement at the end of the day that needs to be adopted. So better get on with it, and I commend it to the vote.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, ditto what Councillor Van Stein said. Huge amount of work goes into preparing for these audits, and it never ends. So well done to everybody, and it is an extremely thorough process. Thank you.
Thank you. Any speakers against? Any other speakers for? Anyone wish to oppose this motion? We'll move that motion is passed 8-0 then. Item number CS 324. Council Policy 4.22, Fraud and Corruption Control. Councillor Van Stein, moving again.
Why not? Night for it.
Thank you. We've got the right one. Yeah. The seconder, please.
Happy to
Oh,
second,
Deputy
thank
Mayor
you.
Culliver, of
Yeah,
course.
thank you.
Just losing my pages here. Councillor Van Stein, if you wish to speak.
Just that these things have passed through and reviewed by the Audit Committee and the Audit Improvement Committee. And, you know, a lot of work goes in there, and we thank that. And obviously maintaining controls over fraud and corruption is ever so important, and I commend this to the vote.
Yeah. Sorry to, so that motion was it part A?
Well, it's a part A and B, yeah, sorry, yeah,
Part
that's
B?
for the executive
Yeah,
recommendation,
sorry,
part
I
A,
didn't-
my
I
bad.
didn't,
The drama with that, Mr Mayor, is that it'll if I move A and B, it'll require both of them to be moved by absolute majority. So
Yes.
we can break it to,
Yes.
if you wish, I'm happy to move A and B at absolute majority, but I'm happy to take advice on whether you can actually conjoin them to force an absolute majority. But if it's quicker to go part A and we go around that step, we can do that too. I'll take advice from the chair.
Well, so we'll have the separate motions just to make perfectly sure, because being one councillor short certainly makes it different when a vote is when you're requiring an absolute majority. So we have Councillor Van Stein's motion there for part A. You've spoken for it. Deputy Mayor's spoken for it. Does anyone else wish to speak? Well, we will ask you to cast your vote on that, please, councillors. There you go. That's passed 8-0. So now we're moving on to part B, which you wish to move again. Thank you. And Deputy Mayor, I assume you wish to move that one, second that motion. Thank you. Councillor Van Stein, you have the floor again. Okay. Deputy Mayor Colliver? Okay. No other speakers? Then I will, just a reminder that we do need an absolute majority on this one, so I'll ask you to cast your votes, please. Am I going too quick?
Yeah, just put the vote in.
Sorry.
I've got to put it in the system. There you go.
Never usually accused of moving fast. We got 6 now. Got 7. Now we've got 8. So that motion is passed 8-0. So that is the absolute majority. Moving along, item CS 325, corporate reporting for the quarter of April to June 26 for the 25-26. Councillor Van Stein, moving.
Yes, please, Mr Mayor.
And Councillor Keemick, second. Thank you. Councillor Van Stein, you wish to?
Wish to move the executive recommendations presented, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Keemick.
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay. Any other speakers on this? Anyone oppose this motion? We'll move that motion is passed 8-0. Staying with corporate services, we have item CS 326, budget amendments for 26-27. Councillor Van Stein, you're moving the motion.
Must move the executive recommendations presented, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. And Deputy Mayor Colliver seconding that.
Happy to second, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Van Stein, you wish to speak?
Look, I certainly commend these budget amendments to everyone in the mid-year and take it on and the override zone, because you're going to need all the surplus you guys can get. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Never one to miss an opportunity. Nothing further to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions on this item, councillors? Bearing in mind there's an absolute majority need on this motion as well. Anyone wish to speak against it? Any other speakers for? You have no further comment, Councillor Van Stein? All right.
Let that one go,
That's
thanks, Mr.
arguments
Mayor.
there. So, councillors, I will now put this motion to the vote. One more. There we go. That motion is passed 8-0. Item CS 327, monthly financial report for the period ending 31st of July. Just waiting for that to clear. Councillor Kimick, are you moving on that?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And seconded Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Kimick, you wish to speak?
Nothing further to add. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Deputy Mayor Colliver?
Nothing from me either. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers? No questions? Anyone wish to oppose this motion? We'll move that that motion is passed 8-0. Thank you. Yeah. Agrippa.
I don't know if it's. So.
Is that any good?
I think the mouse is
Worn out.
yeah. Oh, I'm on the next one.
Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. We move on to reports of infrastructure services 12.4. Item IS 337 Francis Street Groyne Extension Project. Bearing in mind that Councillor Judici has declared an impartiality interest in item IS 337 as she is a community member of the Community Consultation Committee of the Midwest Ports Authority. Councillor Van Stein.
I wish to move the executive recommendation as presented, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Happy to second. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Van Stein, wish to speak?
Look, we all accept this as just a bit of a feel-good for council that we get to have a say in this. As such, the Midwest Ports Authority are going to do whatever they want, whenever they want down there, as is their statutory authority to be able to do so. So, you know, it's nice that we're at least shown what they were going to go ahead and do without us anyway. This is part of the Port Maximisation Project, otherwise should be called the Port Expansion Project. This obviously involves a significant increase in obviously operations and groins, some for anywhere about half a kilometre's worth in total, out at the port. And this is looking at the cell closest, you know, this what would be the southwesternmost groin to the port at Francis Street Jetty, an extension there of that. To stop the rotation of the beach and the sand in that cell, I would be very mindful of the fact that there are a number of groins that go to the northeast from there. And if you're going to rotate one cell, you're probably going to go and rotate the 3 or 4 more as it comes, particularly at the scale that they are talking about expanding out the berth 8 and indeed the tug pen alone and the surge minimisation breakwater, I think whatever they call that thing. Put it this way, it's another whole bunch of rocks in the water that's going to block sand. So, and not saying that's not without merit, don't get me wrong. You've got to move the tugs if you want to have your berth, what would ultimately probably become a larger berth 1. But look, this is a step in one groin. I just take the opportunity to welcome the fact that they gave feedback and they engaged us. We should remain engaged because there's a lot of compartments down there that go along and from dome and the like, and if they're going to need to go out another 30 metres, 40 metres each as the beaches rotate, well, those ones, of course, unlike Francis Street, have drainage systems and the like, and our stormwater system feed through them as well. So that'll be fun for them. I mean, who knows? We might even see the ephemeral wetland project come back to Maitland Park. We might get that little wetland after all, to expand those groins. So, but look, tip of the hat, I guess, for them for at least having the courtesy to involve us. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. What I've written down is time will tell, and I guess time will tell what sort of impacts the PMAX-P project will have on community facilities on our foreshore. I am pleased that this is a mitigation measure in anticipation of the potential impact, and I think like I've said, it's a time will tell. So thank you.
Thank you. Do we have questions? Councillor Denton?
Thank you. I might be being a little bit too particular, but is there not a need for us to explicitly note the 30-metre extension to the Francis Street groin in this endorsement?
Director Lee, I'm looking for a response.
Through the chair, thank you for the question, Councillor. It mentions it, a number of times in the executive summary. Are you wanting it in the actual executive recommendation?
Yeah, my question is, do we need to explicitly include that 30-metre extension? Who knows, if we don't, what that could look like? Just a question.
Yeah. Do you want us to amend? Do you want us to amend? We can amend if you want it amended. We can. I'm happy with that.
So endorse the 30-metre extension of the Francis Street groin.
Thank you.
Happy with that? Okay. Anything else, Councillor Denton?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on this one? Councillor Giudice?
Just one. So what if, what will happen if the councillor do not endorse this extension?
I can tell you in about a minute's time when we vote.
Through the chair, look, the reason why, and you can blame me, suggesting that this came to council was that those groins are actually owned by the city. They're part of our asset database, not the Eastern Breakwater, but all the shorter ones further along. So for them to do work on our asset, we just thought it was appropriate that it comes here. Do we have clout to actually say no? If we said no and they said okay, it would save them some money, and then whatever came, if their modelling is correct and it created a drama, then I guess that would be on us. But yeah, I can't see that happening.
Thank you. No further questions? Any speakers against the motion? Any speakers for? Councillor Van Stein, do you want any closing remarks? Okay. Are we good to go with the vote? Okay, so the votes will come up on your screen right now, so I ask you to cast your votes on that one. Still looking for two. Now we're looking for one. There we go. So that motion is passed 8-0. 12.5 reports of the Office of the CEO. 12.6 reports to be received. Item RR86 reports to be received for August. Deputy Mayor Colliver.
Yes, happy to move the executive recommendation parts A and parts B. Thank you.
Thank you. Seconder, we have Councillor Keemick.
Happy to second, thank you.
Thank you.
I have nothing further to add. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Keemick.
And I have nothing further to add either. Thank you.
Any questions? Any speakers for, against or for? Okay. So there is a motion there moved by Deputy Mayor Colliver. I'll ask you to cast your votes on that one, please. Oh, gee, that one's passed 8-0. Point 13 is motions by members of which previous notice has been given, and there is none. 14, questions from members of which due notice has been given. There are also none. 15, new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of the meeting. There is none. Point 16 is moving behind closed doors to the public, so we will do a procedural motion. Now, I will move that from the chair. Seconder, Councillor Keemick. The council, by simple majority, resolved to move behind closed doors and close the meeting to the public in accordance with section 5.234G of the Local Government Act 1995, Regulation 4AB of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996, being a compliant that alleges oh, hang on, we've got to close everything. All right, so Councillor Keemick, do you second that? Okay. All right, this is a procedural motion, so there's no debate on that. Is there anyone wish to oppose that? Councillor Van Stein? We'll call the vote on it, councillors. Councillors, if you cast your vote. That motion is passed 6-2. So now we will ask the public to leave the chambers, and once we turn live streaming off, microphones will still be used. Quick, yep. We move to number 17 is closure, so there's no further business. I will now declare the meeting closed at 19:31. Thank you.